Keep poking your head. You're live.
It's like that's real though. Like I got a lot of sun.
My man's got some sunburn over there.
Oh. Do it.
Guys, it is Monday. It is 5 o'clock time for After Hours Real Estate. Chris Pesek here, broker associate at Pesek Properties, Dripping Springs home team. And the guitar legend here is my buddy Stevie Ray Babcock, residential mortgage loan expert and originator at CMG Financial. What's
I'll
up,
take
man?
that. I'm okay.
Yeah.
That's approved by me. That's good.
Cool. Yeah.
I approve this message. You know what, brother? It's I'm not joking. I went to the webpage just to get my news today, and it was like another boring week. Literally one of the headline lines was the bond market takes a 3-day weekend. Like nothing today.
Easy enough.
So
my dog is down in the meadow right over there, and we've got a dog locator that notifies us when she leaves home. So anyway,
and she left home.
She left home. She's running down in the meadow somewhere. Anyway, boring weekend with aside from one of the things that we are going to talk about here. But
guys, it's not going to be boring. Yeah,
no, it'll be very fun. So what we do on the show is we talk about lending, and we talk about real estate, and we talk about economics, and we also drink beer. So my friend, what are you doing? You're not drinking beer today.
Come on now. You hear that? This is a gift from my wife.
Hans Pills. Yeah,
did not want to stop for me this afternoon. I asked her to, and she was like, really? I'm not. Anyway, so she went out of her way and did it anyways. Thank you, baby. I love you. And this is a German-style Pilsner.
Real Ale Brewing right here in Blanco, Texas. Yeah. It's not Blanco, Texas. All you folks coming from out of state, we're Texan. It's Blanco. I've got a YouTube video about how to pronounce Texas stuff. And
yeah, I used to call it Lago Vista or Lago Vista. I mean,
Lago Vista. Yeah, Hasta la vista, baby.
Yeah,
Vista. Lago Vista. That's a good one. I should have had that one on there. Man, I'm local too here. Last Stand Brewing down in South Austin.
All right. Same
little
color almost. It's good.
Fuzzy, luscious, double dry hopped, juicy IPA. This thing.
I haven't tried this yet. I wanted to wait till I cheers to you. So I'm excited.
Oh, are we going to do a live reveal of your thoughts of the Hans Pills?
No, because then it becomes a beer show. Remember we got flagged for that one time?
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's not a show about alcohol. This is a show about real estate and finance, real estate mortgages. I mean,
it is,
and sometimes finance.
So, man, the world has been abuzz with, damn Joe Biden.
What's
and
making
I say
me
that tongue in
about
cheek.
it? Yeah, no. All right. So if you look at the left web pages, they say, big changes coming, the poor are being helped. If you look at the right web pages, they're saying big changes are coming. Joe Biden sweeping, is it even legal? Is punishing the rich. Okay. As usual, there's a third side to the story.
The edge of the coin.
Right, which is what's actually happening. The reality is they're both wrong and they're both right at the same time.
That's right. They are both wrong. They are both right.
But there are going to be some big changes coming.
So the headlines, if you've been if you're not on social media or you've been under a rock, as of May 1st, Joe Biden is either going to hurt the fiscally responsible middle-aged wealthy people, or he is going to help the people who are not as well-to-do and struggling home buyers. That's what the headlines have been. And this program,
was this an executive order?
I don't even know how the hell it passed. I have no idea.
Does
anybody know?
Order?
I don't know.
Well, it had to have been if it was Joe Biden that did this.
That's a good point. And I don't remember seeing any legislation that passed on this.
I don't remember seeing any executive orders either.
But you're going to help us out here because you're going to explain to us what the actual, it's not a law or a rule. Maybe it's a rule. What is it? LLPA
thing I didn't do was pull rates. I was going to pull rates.
Oh, it doesn't matter. It was boring last week. They increased incrementally.
let's see. I do have some numbers that I can show. It's not going to make too much sense, I suppose,
Okay.
but I suppose okay. I have the option. So, in a nutshell, you want the quick version?
Sure.
When you get an interest rate from a lender, every rate comes with a price next to it
Yep.
that will add a cost to your closing. If you get lower and lower in price, eventually you start getting paid to take the higher rates. Everything's inverse on the bond market, but anyway, so long story short is the higher the rate, the less money you have to pay for it. Eventually you get paid to take it. So it will lessen your closing costs. Okay. The price just changed.
Okay.
That's the quick version of the story. Quick version. All right. I am seeing a blank screen. Okay, just kidding. Never mind. I'm back to what I was looking at. So the dirtier version of the story is that the person that gets hurt the most in these changes is somebody putting 15% down, who has between a 720 and a 759 credit score.
Okay. But let's back all the way up. This didn't, and this is what you pointed out to me, and I went and did quite a bit of research on this actually. So this didn't start with Joe Biden. Where did this start?
This would be Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac.
Right about the time.
Well, you tell me. I haven't studied it too much. From my perspective, let me tell you this. From my perspective, we were told about giant changes a long time ago. They were about to show up, and then all of a sudden, they've been delayed. We're not ready. Well, you mean some companies weren't ready. Great, fine.
Right.
So then now we're told that it's going to happen on the 1st, and quite frankly, we're being told that it's not going to be delayed again. But how many times have I been told that, and then it changes? So I'm not really sure.
Well, and there's another part of it that's going to be delayed also, and I don't know all that much about that.
Always.
Well, but from what I read, and I'm not an expert on this, but from what I read, this is something that had kind of trickled out slowly out of Frank Dodd, 2008, 2009, 2010 timeframe, right? So this pricing has been in effect now for, call it 13 years. Okay. And it's this extra fee that you're being charged, right?
Well, yes and no.
Okay.
So I just said yes. The answer is yes.
Yeah.
And I just said that it's a fee attached to interest rates, which isn't actually true.
Not to interest rates.
It doesn't have to be associated with interest rates.
Right.
Okay. The immediate effect is that it's going to be associated with interest rates because, or otherwise, let's put it this way. A borrower can only be charged so much at closing unless you bake it into the rate.
Right? Exactly.
So you're telling me that some people are going to be charged. Let's see. And by the way, that something at closing that you can be charged is right around 3%. And so some of these people are going to go up by 0.75. That's almost 1 out of the 3 that we have allotted to us, right? So there's going to be some changes. It could be that, people just come and bring more money to the table, but the reality is that we don't have much choice as lenders, really, if you want to stay competitive.
Right. But let's set some baseline facts on this thing. Okay. These fees now have been charged on every home purchase that, aside from cash and things like that, since this stuff started, correct? This is not a new fee.
No, the theory is that the more attractive the borrower, the less they get charged, until they eventually don't get charged anything in terms of extra fees.
Okay,
and these are called loan level price adjustments.
Thank you. LLPAs. Okay.
LLPAs. Yes.
Okay.
And go ahead. What was your question?
I was just again. I'm just trying to set look. This is a knowledge-based show right now, so that people aren't, my uncle and I've had people, sending me this stuff. But these fees have been charged. They are a sliding fee. They've always been based on credit worthiness, credit scores, and stuff like that. And so these have been in effect now. And I'm going to pull up a chart that I was sent here in a little bit that is confusing as hell, but kind of makes it make sense. I'm going to try to get it pulled up now. And guys, by the way, y'all should know on this show, this is an interactive show. please ask questions. Tell us we're idiots. Tell us how brilliant we are. Tell me how brilliant I am. Tell Stephen that he's an idiot.
I'll tell you. Yeah, you can do that too. I'll tell you, one of the things that really stands out to me, if you wanted to qualify for the best interest rates before, and you were going to ignore down payment and just focus on credit score, then you would be looking for a 740 or above.
Right.
Okay. Now, 760 and above was what you wanted for other things, but you really wanted a 740 and above. With this new change, it's happening 1 week from today on Monday. They have added 2 more tiers, and tiers are every 20 points. So they have added a 760 to 769 and a 780 and over. Right. So, I'm sorry, 740 to 759, 760 to 769, and then higher. And then on my chart, I see changes to those.
Right.
Okay, but they're brand new. So how can there be changes from the old to the new? So which means to me that before I was lending, I've only been lending for what, 12 years, something like that. And so maybe 11, I don't know what it is. But long story short is that I wasn't around. You said 13 years ago this happened, right?
I think that's about the time that I can trace it back to.
Either way, I wasn't around for it. I don't know. But they're adding 2 more tiers, which means now instead of having a 740, you want a 780 or above,
right,
to qualify.
That's right.
And then what they've done is let's just say you had like a 720 score, right? Or you know what? Yeah. Say you got a 739. Okay. Now you get 1.75% less in fees than you did before all of this happened.
That's right.
If you put 3% down. But let's say that same person then, all right, this is where it gets weird.
Hey, hang on. Time out.
Yeah,
because, but what you're talking about, I've got the chart that goes along with it. That's what I want to share. But the other thing that I want to kind of set the record straight on before we go into this, all the headlines were saying that, people are going to be charged. It's going to cost them 1% more, and like people that have bad credit, they're getting this. It's not going to cost them anything. It's like offsetting. That's not entirely true. So, but
no, it's a headline. It gets a headline angry, and it's easy.
It is a headline.
Yeah. Right. Man, the older I get, the more that stuff I almost immediately turn it off. Sorry, done. We're not going to talk about it. Right. Like you've seen me do it on the show where I'm like, yeah, okay, well, I'm trying to be fair. There's a lot of green and there's a lot of orange, right? At least if it's the graph I sent to you. Did I send this graph to you?
I don't think you sent it to me.
Okay. All right. Well, there's this graph that shows a few different colors, right? And it's the change between the old and the new.
That may be the one that I have, though.
Okay.
Let me see if I can get this thing to show. Okay, and then I need to click here. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Is that the graph you sent to me?
No, that's the one that Fannie Mae has out there. I've got a much more easy to read one than that.
Yeah, this one's pretty tough. And whoever proofread this didn't take the before off when they added the after. But this is essentially what it is. And so what I was talking about is all of these fees have been in existence already. And so there's certain amounts. So talk through what this is, what the percentages mean, what these percentages mean. What is this?
Hold on. We're going to use mine if you don't mind.
Oh, you want me to get mine off of here? Fine.
Yeah, get that thing off my screen.
Whatever.
How do I make this this just is not going to look pretty. I don't think, you know what? I should have had you keep yours up there.
Come on, dude. Really?
You know what, brother? I'm going to send this to you. But it's going to be prettier and it's going to show everything for those of you.
Are you texting it?
To wait around. In fact, yeah. Why don't you have this?
Because you haven't sent it to me yet.
I saved it and didn't send it to you. I literally have the same snippet.
My man, this is dead air. This is costing us viewers as we sit.
No,
here.
I'm just saying. Right now. Will somebody please comment, please?
I'm gonna drink beer. How about that? That'll keep them around.
That'll keep people around. Just keep. No, that's really not going to work. So what I'm going to send.
Oh Lord, here we go. No, Shelly, we're not going to talk about the. You want me to? Are you still looking for this thing? Send it to me. I'll touch on this. People are going to absolutely hate me for this, and I am a no tax guy.
There, see,
I think we shouldn't be taxed anyway. I'm part libertarian, I think. But the current system as it's set up, these high appraisals, they're going to keep coming, and they should, because the way it's set up is we should be taxed on our property values, and nobody has made it to their property values after the last 4 years. The appraisal district is still catching up. Now, the way that it should work, and it has to a point, except you have governments, local governments, the school districts, the counties, and stuff like that, they're continuing to add to their budgets so they don't have to adjust this as much. But the way it's been happening is as the appraisals have been going up, the property appraisals have been going up, it's generating additional revenue for the EMS and fire and city and county and all this other stuff. So it's generating that additional revenue. When that revenue exceeds the current budget, the county has to dial back the appraised rate in order to get that back down to where the budget is. Okay. And they've been doing that. Our property appraisal rates have been going down, and I think they've gone down in pretty much every county around here that I've checked on. So the rates are coming down. The problem is, go ahead. No,
so what you're saying though is that people's taxes aren't going up as much as it looks like when they get the shock of the higher value.
Like your values are going up, and technically they should. The way our system is set up, and people ask me all the time, well, the tax value has my house at this amount, but what does that have to do with the actual value of my absolute jack crap? It doesn't have anything to do with the value of your home, because the counties are always behind or ahead or whatever. But in theory, they should be equal-ish. You always want your value to be higher than what the tax says it is. But the county should also be dialing back the tax rates to lower the total amount of income to match their budgets, as should fire and EMS, as should road taxes and all this other stuff. All that should be kept in balance.
I bet you 95% of the population doesn't know that happens. And if I were a politician, I would tout that I'm going to make sure that we lower the tax rate as that goes up, just for you, even if you know what I mean.
Yeah, absolutely. You look like a genius, right? You look like a genius.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay. Anyway, so yes, our taxes are high and they're going up. Well, no, let me rephrase that. Your tax value is going up, and it's going up astronomically, and I'm pissed about it. And I'm not pissed about it. I know why they're doing it, but I'm protesting my taxes. I'm trying to get it down because I know that that's linked to the actual amount that I pay in taxes. But watch your tax rates this year. The tax rates are going to come down again. Case in point, 3 years ago, Hayes County, a normal property just out in the county, not in a special jurisdiction or anything, taxes were 1.86%. Okay. I just checked. They are now down to 1.72. So they're down 0.14%, which it's not a lot, but they are coming. Well, it is, but it doesn't seem like a lot. But they are coming down.
Yeah, it makes a big change. It really does.
So anyway, there's my rant on taxes.
Shelley's right. Fight it. However,
and I'll help you fight it. If you want to know how to do it, call me. I'll help you fight it.
You don't want the value going down either, right? So going up is not a bad thing. It is, but not.
It's bad for your pocketbook. It's good for your equity. I mean, that's just
could be way worse. So yeah, that's not.
Yeah. Let's see here. Okay. Can you see it?
I have just switched a setting. Let's see. Yes, I can see that.
Okay, get after it, buddy.
So red and orange. Okay, and I don't mean that lighter orange. There's like a dark orange and then like a light orange, right?
Mm-hmm.
Red and orange are negatives. However, I don't know who you are. Someone's calling me. That's great. I have multiple devices. She calls them multiple things. However, green and the lighter orange means no change or better.
Gotcha. Right? So this is showing the differential.
Yeah. So yellow and green are better. Red and dark orange are worse. And, if you're going to get to that light orange, it's zero change. So for the most part, it's gotten better or no change. The spots that are red is the worst, right? And that dark orange, which really is almost, there's not really that many dark oranges. Okay. So you really just focus on the reds. And because the dark orange isn't that big of a change anyway. So just
Right.
focus on the red, right? And what you really see is almost like a plus sign.
Yep.
It's like somebody threw a dart at it, and okay, that's what we'll do. And if you look at the left, those are the credit scores. You look at the top, that's the down payment, right? All you really want to look is at the bottom line of the down payment, right? Because the top makes it confusing. 90.01% to 95%, like 95%. You're talking a 95% loan, meaning 5% down, right?
Yep.
I wish they'd just do the math for you and say 5% down, 10% down, 15, right? That would just be a lot easier, but you can do it yourself. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 40%. Long story short is if you're going to put 3% down, and by the way, what the hell is less than 3%? I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, that doesn't exist.
Fine. So maybe in some states, I don't. Maybe some lending institutions, I don't know. But you're going to put 3% down, right? Which is only available really for the most part for first-time home buyers. So there's some caveats to that, but it really depends on where the home is. Okay. Right. Where I work here and around Austin, I have never run into one. They are around, but I've never run into one that runs into that track. I've been doing this for more than a decade. So, long story short is it's mostly for first-time home buyers. So what you've really done is you've made it a lot easier for first-time home buyers, but it's the opposite of what you'd expect to see. You're getting 1.75% cheaper everything, right, than you were before if you're lowest credit tier. But you go to the highest credit tier and you're only benefiting by 0.625. So it really is helping the poor.
No, I'm gonna fight you on that.
Well, look at the graph. Look where it's the most green. Bottom right.
But credit score doesn't have anything to do with income.
Oh, fine. Fine. Okay. You know what? You're right, actually. Thank you very much. I probably shouldn't say that, but the spirit of what I said is still correct. It's not benefiting the rich. What it's really doing is to the benefit of the first-time low credit score home buyer. How's that?
Okay. Well, I'm going to push back again, because if there's somebody that's wealthy that's going to put 25% down on a home, but they have shitty credit, they're still getting a benefit.
Well, I absolutely don't argue with that, and you're correct. Credit scores are supposed to be representative of responsible behavior,
and that's where I was going to go. And so I'll stop. You go. I'll save my comments. Go.
No, in fact, you're absolutely so right, and I need to rephrase how I said it, and I'm very sorry because one of the wealthiest people I've ever done a loan for was a librarian. Who just saved a ton of money, and then the other one was a doctor, but he wasn't well. I'm sorry, the opposite end of the spectrum. The least wealthy person was a doctor who was spending everything he made before he even got paid. And so credit score actually did represent well there, but if you have a couple bad things happen, a score can really be misrepresentative. So
right.
I hate to. What I'm really trying to say was that the articles on the right wing websites that I was seeing are not incorrect in that it doesn't exactly help the wealthy but again, I'm using wealthy in terms of credit score, which as you've pointed out, really you shouldn't do, but that's what they've done in all the articles. So that's why I was going there.
Right. So yeah, and I've been going out of my way to kind of say, look, what we're seeing in the news is complete and utter BS.
Yeah, so please click me. You stop.
But well, and that's what it's for, right? Because they sell advertisement, and that's how the advertisers want to be on there because of clicks. But what I see here, and in my mind, and this is my opinion, in my mind, more fiscally responsible people tend to have higher credit scores, and they also tend to have more money to put down on homes.
Yeah, you remember that stat, by the way, just to back up how right you were, and I'm happy that you pointed that out, was that 60% of people are living paycheck to paycheck, and of that, 50% of them are above six figures.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so when I look at this chart, the biggest amount of change is done to somebody who is fiscally responsible, has saved money, who has decided they would like to escrow their own funds. They don't want to pay an extra fee to have somebody else escrow for them. And that's the people that are getting punished here. That's solidly in that 20 to 25% down, 720 plus credit score. That's your fiscally responsible people. Now, I've seen
That's why you're specific. I get it now. Yeah, and you're right. You're right.
it's right there. It is the heart of the people who are and I don't want to say, I will say quote unquote punished, because this is showing a negative, like right there, 720 to 739 credit score, putting 20% down. And in that area, there's a change of 75 or 0.75 percentage points. Now, I'm going to go back to my chart after a while, because what yours is showing is a change of negative 0.75, but they still, as a whole, pay less than people with low credit scores. As
That's
a whole,
true.
this is
If you looked
showing,
at this
this is
graph,
showing change.
if you looked at this graph, you'd think it was ludicrous as a whole, but that's
Yeah.
not as a whole. These are just the changes.
These are differentials. Yeah.
These are just the changes. Now, some of them are massive, and I'll tell you where the other massive changes are that you're not seeing are in cash out refinances.
Yep.
Those have changed. They're big increases in fees for those.
Yep.
But what I'm seeing here is if you have money, they don't want it as much, right? And if you're going to go get a mortgage, they want you to take out the biggest one possible. Is what it's sounding like.
And so that brings us to my tinfoil hat conspiracy theory. Are you ready?
I don't know. I think so.
You can think about what you just said.
Go back. You can get off the screen. What's up?
Okay. Sorry. I'll get off the screen.
Okay. I just want to see your face. If you're going to do a conspiracy, I got to see your face. You like to
think about what you just said.
Sure.
Okay.
What did I just say? So they don't want your money.
Yeah. They don't want your money. They want you to be leveraged.
They want your debt.
Who wrote Frank Dodd?
Dodd-Frank?
Dodd-Frank. I always say Frank Dodd. Sorry. Who wrote Dodd-Frank?
Dodd and Frank.
Who did Dodd-Frank end up hurting more than anything? Who went out of business after Dodd-Frank? No. Who went after business after Dodd-Frank?
Small mortgage shops. I can't remember. I'm so sorry. It was so long ago. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yes.
Small mortgage houses, very small mortgage houses. They couldn't keep up with all of the legislation. The big mortgage houses were acquiring a crap ton of small ones. I remember having this conversation. Okay. So who do you think is writing legislation or writing rules, whatever this is? We don't even know what it is yet. Who do you think's writing rules benefiting, or that are going to benefit people who don't put much money down, who leverage themselves to a much higher rate, and also increase the number of people who are able to leverage themselves by making it beneficial for those with low credit scores?
Big banks. I would say the big banks.
What got us into 2007?
Big banks. Yeah. Yeah.
Look, I'm not, man, I try not to be tinfoil hat. I try not to be.
Well,
but when it's sitting here screaming at you.
You know, the problem with the tinfoil hat thing today is that the media has become so pulverized, right?
God.
So extreme on each side that when someone says something that's not what you said last night on nightly news, fill in the blank news.
Yeah.
You, instead of saying, we'll investigate it, you fight it. And long story short is things look like conspiracies when you have people that are unwilling to look at them and say, you're wrong. Okay, well then,
right.
Okay, well I trust you. If they're wrong, then fine. But then, how many things recently have turned out to be correct that were? I mean, just in the last year, I read some article the other day. It was like 37 things that were considered conspiracies that are now. It wasn't 37, but it was something like astronomical number.
Yeah, but they were all true.
Crap, really? Like, oh my god! I started reading through it. It was like, really? And so it's one of those. I don't know. I at the end of the day, man, I'm almost afraid to say anymore. But.
You know what? I feel that, but at the same time, and was it you that I was having this conversation with, where it's like, look, if it looks like a duck, it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's probably a damn duck.
Yeah.
I mean, and it just is what it is. Now, I'm going to say this. God, I've got to try to pull this up again. I'm gonna pull up this other my chart again, because I do want to kind of beat this home for anybody who cares. Why are we doing? Okay, come on. Okay, so can you see that again?
Yeah.
Okay, so we saw like the reddest of the reds was right in this area for you, kind of the 20% down. Oh, sorry, we're down here. Like these are the people who took the biggest beating, 20% down, 740 credit score. Okay, this is what the actual price adjustment is going to be after May 1st down here at the bottom. There's a 1% price adjustment, okay, at 740. Up here at 740, it was a 1/4 point price adjustment. So there's a 3/4 percentage or 3/4 of a percentage point price adjustment for that 740.
Problem
So
with this
again,
chart is when you look at it, keep in mind there's 2 more rows.
there's
So the bottom
additional
ones are on
credit
top
scores on the
one.
bottom. Yes.
Well, but if you try to compare them, you have to like transpose a little bit because the columns are off.
Right. You can't see my pointer, can you? Can you see my pointer? It's at the top of the top at the 20% down.
Yes, I can.
Okay, so this number right here, 0.25% was the loan level price adjustment for 20% down with a 740 or greater credit score before May 1st. Okay, follow it down. Here's that. Now it's going to be 1%. So that's that 0.75% hike for that same group. So yeah, you're right. They added these additional credit scores here above that. Everything is just transposed down 2 places.
Yeah, 0.5 turns into 1.25.
Yeah.
Man.
So anyway,
anybody out there working with a lender, get them to pull rates for you. And if they won't, I'll do it for you. Come to me. You don't even have to work with me. I want you to work with me. I need your business right now. But get your lender to pull rates and show you. Scroll to the bottom. Usually they're using something called Optimal Blue. That's it. 3 out of the 4 companies we've used Optimal Blue. There are other things that people use, right? But for the most part, you probably run into that. You click on one of the banks, it opens up a list of rates, and then underneath that, it shows your loan level price adjustments. It's not really, but kind of. It's this person has X, Y, and Z credit score. We've hit them for this amount of money. Like these here over, I don't know if you can see me on the side, but like this stuff that Chris is showing you, right? And make them show you those adjustments so that you can see what you're getting hit for. If somebody were to work with the lender and they were to see the adjustments, say 3 months before they actually bought a house, they could then change that. You could spend time to make adjustments to all those things. Alyssa, you're correct. Everyone should call me. You should not work with any other lender. Chris,
absolutely, you should call Steven.
Yeah, Alyssa's comment, please, so I don't sound like a crazy person. But yeah, Alyssa. Yeah.
Oh, I was going to say I'm gonna point out one other thing while we're here. So the brightest of the green on this was if you look at the below 620 credit score with 5% down, 3.25% before that was the loan level price adjustment. Now it's 2.25, so a 1% improvement for somebody with poor credit score that's not putting much money down.
Oh, Alyssa, I love Melissa. Alyssa, she's great. I hope you're doing well in Colorado. I think things that you need to put up with conversation.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
You said Alyssa. Alyssa's my lender in Colorado.
Yeah, we've had conversations, but I'll tell you, I've heard Colorado's not doing as well as. But basically, I've heard that like Austin and 2 other places are doing well, and everybody else is suffering, right? So I hope.
I don't know, Alyssa. What are you seeing up there? Are you seeing a lot of origination going on, or not?
I got this call from a recruiter this week that was like, "Hey, man, I know things are probably pretty slow for you. I'm getting really bad conversations from everybody." And I'm just like, Jesus, bro, like, come on. Make me happy, right? Like, make me want to switch, like, don't just immediately go into misery, right?
I love the people who call me and they go, "Hey, do you have the ability to take on more leads?"
Oh, yeah. Oh,
no,
God.
I don't. No,
Steven,
I don't.
We're looking to offload a bunch of leads from pre-qualified people that our lenders don't have time for. Do you have any time?
No.
What? Yeah.
Oh
So
my
you might as
gosh.
well just say, "Would you like some free money?
Right.
Pay me first, and I'll give you free money." Right?
Yeah.
This is never
My
works.
favorite response to them is, "Sure, send them to me. I'll pay you at closing." They don't like that.
There's a couple that I mean, like
There's a couple that have done that, yeah.
there's a few out there that you could make a business around.
Yeah.
Um, but then you're only competing by price, and quite frankly, you do that, you're never really the best person around. You're never really helping too much. Um,
Oh, crap. Yeeth. Okay. Sorry,
sorry.
Alyssa. That's,
And who is Home Point Financial? Is that where she works? Is that where
Yeah,
you work?
yeah.
Oh, well, that's even okay. Uh, so I had a friend that lives down the street from me that worked for IBM until about 2 weeks ago. I think I mentioned this on the show last time, but now that she's watching, who was let go of IBM in the customer service department and was told he's being let go because AI is going to replace him. Yeah, no, it's a whole cylinder. Okay, yeah.
Oh, I thought you were okay, never mind. Well, then fine. I
Either
don't know what
way,
I'm talking
she's
about.
not. No, I've heard this too. Then okay, so yeah, no, I mean on that front, my lord, yeah, things are changing fast.
Hey, because this is my lender in Colorado. She's done 2 loans for us and at least 2 loans for good friends of ours and business partners, and I don't even know who the hell she works for. That's not a good sign.
That's awesome. Well, I mean, actually, that says a lot about the business rule that you do business with people you know, like, and trust,
Yeah.
and that it doesn't really matter who the
I
company
don't
is. It
care who
matters.
she works for.
It
Alyssa's
matters the person.
amazing.
Yeah, it's the person you're working with, right? At
So
least in
here,
her end.
if anybody's looking for Colorado property, I'll give you the skinny. Um, the things are on the market a lot longer up there than they have been, and if you're shopping, you got to call Alyssa. That's all. That's all there is.
Yeah,
And it
actually, yes, because we've already vetted, right? You've already done the vetting.
vetted multiple times.
I've
Vetted.
spoken with Alyssa, and she's smart. She knows what she's talking about. So
Oh,
yeah,
that's right. You have.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
if you're
yeah.
going to Colorado, I second that as well. Alyssa's a great lender, at least from I think she's a great lender.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, I would love a whiskey. Let's do it. Yes.
God, every time we go, I swear to her, we're getting together for whiskey, and we end up not because we just get so busy. So anyway, I'm sorry. She did turn me on to Leopold Brothers whiskey, which is another Colorado distillery that makes phenomenal whiskey.
Dude, let me tell you about something that happened this week. Totally off subject, unless you want to keep going on the subject.
No, we're about to wrap up, so get off subject.
So I was given a first world problem. My neighbor, who used to mine Bitcoin, came over and saw my virtual reality setup and me playing video games with my child and said, "Bro, I'm not making any money with my Bitcoin anymore. I've got this really crazy graphics card. Would you like the graphics card? I feel like you'd really use it." And he's right. I'm the kind of nerd that would totally use that. And it upped my system by like 111%. It was a giant upgrade, right?
Up yours.
Okay. So now I can't see what the system is providing because my TV is too old. My monitor is too old, right? So again, first world problem. Okay. So I decide, you know what, I'm going to get a screen, but things are rough right now. So I get onto Facebook, Facebook Marketplace, and it took me like a week, but I found the right one. So I go to pick it up, and I get there. I tell the guy, you know what, man, this specific TV allows me to play Xbox on it. It's one of the new Samsungs, right? It's a 2001 model, but great, fine. And I've got a special needs kid on the autism spectrum, and he loves video games, and it's going to be really easy for him to play the games on this. And as I said that, the guy goes, "Oh man," and walked away. And he came back then, and he goes, people have said my kid's on the spectrum, but I don't see it. And I'm like, well, mine can't talk. He's nonverbal. And the guy goes, "Oh shoot," and then walks away. And I'm thinking at the time, like, that's kind of an extreme reaction to me telling him that, right? But whatever. So we load the TV in the car, we get it back home, and then I realize when I get home, it's not the TV I thought it was. It was a TV that was like 7 or 8 years older, right? 2017, something like that. 6 years, yeah. So yeah, long story short is that it's not at all what I was looking for. It didn't have any of the features that I wanted it to have. And then I went online to find the guy who had deleted his account afterwards. So I got so windowed badly. Now here's the silver lining, though. I'm looking at the TV right now, and it's worlds better than the last one I had with the same. So it's a much better screen, and I'm using it for like my computer and you know, my work, right? But truthfully, the settings I wanted for my kid, my autistic child, that guy, yeah, doesn't have them.
Dude, this is so screwed up.
Right.
I can't believe he still sold it to you. What
You know, I
dick.
hope he loses a lot of sleep over this.
What a dick. Oh my God. I thought you were going to tell me the guy's like, oh, just take it for free or something. No, he just screwed
opposite
you.
of that. No, pay me doubles, loser. Basically what he should have said. Yeah, no. He helped me bring it to the car. He's like, oh, I'll walk this out for you. Maybe that made him feel better. I don't know.
That's horrible.
He didn't help me with TV, by the way. He helped me with the cords. I carried the TV. Yeah. So I mean, to be blunt. Yeah. It's not
crap.
Yeah. I could have been smoother about this specific transaction. It is completely my fault for taking it home and it not being the right TV. That is completely my fault.
I'm sorry, man.
But, you know, you live, you learn.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys. So, man, we've been around all kinds of stuff today, and this is kind of what we do on Mondays. I swear to you, I started with the best of intentions. We were going to discuss one thing, and it turned out to be 5. But we do.
Yeah, but in conclusion to the earlier stuff, though, real fast, you and I both know first-time homebuyers are the best, right? Like I love working with first-time homebuyers, and this really helps first-time homebuyers. It makes it like more than 1% easier for most.
Because here's the thing: knowing this information now, if you've got a first-time home buyer that was going to put down 15%, you're like, no, put down 5%, and then go back and reprice your loan after the fact. Put the extra cash in later. Easy solution. Yeah. So
this is Luke, by the way.
What's up, Luke?
How are you, buddy? Talking about you during the show. Yeah, and the TV that we didn't really. Yeah, love you.
What's up, Whit? Whit's back there too, man.
Yeah, that's my other kid, Widow. I only have 2. These are the 2. They're amazing.
His name is Luke, and my name is Witten.
There you go. I think we can.
You're right, Widow. All right, dude. I think that's
Easy
a good
enough.
extra.
Guys, we're going to be here again next Monday doing the exact same thing. Steven, have a good one, brother.
Thanks, man. You too.